All right, and we are back for part 4, episode 4 here of Life is Strange True Colors, resuming right now.
Ethan? Ethan! Come on, pick up. Alex.
I am destined to call Ryan Riley. I don't know why.
This way.
Trying to keep Ryan in mind.
Wow. Been a while since I was up here.
You don't do your ranger stuff around here?
Private land. Outside of my jurisdiction. Dad brought me up here a bunch when I was little, though. I was his miner in training. That was back before mining meant blowing the tops off mountains. Any luck?
And touch base with the safety team up at the site. We're gonna postpone tonight's blast until we find them.
Oh, at least we're not racing the clock.
Yeah, no kidding.
Hey, you good?
Charlotte's gotta be losing it right now.
Hey, she's tough. Always has been. Come on, let's take a look around.
You guys, I am so baked into video game storylines.
This kid. Can you imagine the shit we would have caught from Dad if we'd done anything like this?
Hey, we're gonna find him.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, thanks again for your help. Could have been a lot worse if you hadn't kept me in the loop.
Of course.
I'm gonna go take a look around. Let me know if you spot any sign of Ethan.
Sure. I can do that. How was Ethan planning to get into the mine?
Just very quickly, the end of that thought was, it never, ever occurred to me, call the mining company and delay the blast, which, in retrospect, is the option that makes more sense than any other thing. Also, Alex's phone is blowing up, so let's take
Something tells me those two weren't the best match.
quick look. So my block says one of your neighbors has changed their relationship status. Riley Leith is now single. Charlotte is proud. Brandon says, ouch, Mac. Okay, way to go, Brandon. Really, rubbing it in is probably the best look for you right now. And then Steph says, Mazel Tov.
Landed a job on my first day. Maybe this fresh start is still salvageable.
Wow, awesome. Okay. Alex got the job. Excited to announce we have a new addition to the Black Lantern staff. Happy to help you, Alex. Jed says maybe you could even teach Gabe a thing or two. Gabe says, hey, she could teach me way more than 2 things. Oh, I really like Gabe, and Jed for that matter. And Jason Pike, who I will still regret not having talked to. That's so far probably my single biggest regret, because we missed Story there. She's a good sport. Glad you're finally here, Alex. Yeah, that didn't feel good. Yeah, here we go. Official 2-hour warning. Detonating the charges in 2 hours. If you're in a marked danger zone, you must begin clearing out now. Oh, but 2 hours from when? This isn't dated. Timed? Whatever.
Haven has an indie movie theater. Impressive.
Groves Theater asks, which was the best Living Dead movie? Night, Day, Land, Diary. Come to our Marathon of the Dead and watch them all and decide for yourself. Tickets are $15 or $22 at the door. Cass says, stupid debate, Dawn of the Dead is obviously the best. That's a strong contender, I have to say. Have you even seen... Sorry, Adele Paul asks, Have you even seen Survival of the Dead? And Cass responds, nope, and neither has anyone else. Survival of the Dead was, I have seen it, an absolute travesty. It is, just don't watch it. I'm not going to go into it here. It would take way too long. Do not watch that movie. It is not worth your time. It's not worth anyone's time. The vampires that live forever in Twilight, it's not worth their time. They have other better things they could do with all of eternity. Infinite time? Nope. You can still find better things to do than Survival of the Dead. I don't think Land of the Dead gets enough credit. I agree with James. I think Land of the Dead is a lot better than people give it credit for. Steph Gingrich says, let's face it, none of the sequels lived up to Night of the Living Dead. I know. Sorry, Steph. We part ways on that. I think that Dawn of the Dead, the original Dawn of the Dead, is a very, very good movie. Hector Gonzalez says, literally, how dare you? And Groves Theater says, dear God, what have we done? Yeah, no, Survival of the Dead, sucks real hard. It is bad. It's boring. Let's just move on. And I think, oh my God.
I think I see a lot more of the jukebox game in my future.
All right, Steph Gingrich says, PSA. This is the most important thing to do when a child is missing, by the way. Check your text messages. Don't play the jukebox game with Alex Chen unless you really like terrible booze. Alex says, I'm sure you'll develop a taste for it. Steph says, have your fun now, but no, revenge is a bedazzled kiwi schnapps shot best served cold. Gabe has never been more proud. Boy, they post on my block a whole bunch.
That's Charlotte's dispensary. She seems cool.
Okay, I saw the symbol on the window, but even then, there was enough other stuff like the goat yoga that I was like, is this just a yoga shop? But no, it's the dispensary. And if you're not 21 yet, this post isn't for you. Wait, what was the question? First person to finish the lyric gets 10% off their next Silver Dragon purchase. Now I've got a love so deep in the pit of my heart. Yeah, no, unfortunately those lyrics don't immediately ring a bell for me either. Neither for Aaron. Gabe says, and each day it grows more and more. Silver Dragon says, babe, we talked about this. Boyfriends are not allowed to participate in giveaways. And Gabe says, I can't resist the temptations. Yeah, it would be a bad look if Gabe won it. Silver Dragon says, okay, new lyric to finish. Don't hesitate because the world seems cold. And Sonny Anderson says, stay young at heart because you're never ever old. Earth, Wind, and Fire. You got it. Just show me this post the next time you swing by. Good job, Sonny Anderson. Wow. Oh my God, they post a lot in here.
Seems like a sweet guy.
Lost dog. My golden retriever has run away. She's very sweet. Please let me know if you see her. I wonder if Elijah... No. Not Elijah. Elon? No. What? Ethan. Right? Wow. I'm on all the wrong e-names. It is Ethan, right? I'm pretty sure it is. Maybe Ethan found the dog. I'm so sorry. Keep an eye out. Riley hopes she gets home safe. Ryan says, let me know beforehand if you want to look for her in the woods, okay? I can help. Hector says I will. Ryan is either the Zen Gesner of this universe, or I'm actually swinging around to feeling a little bit suspicious of him because nobody can be this awesome. People who appear to be this awesome are working really hard to appear to be this awesome. It sort of sets off my alarm bells. Ducky says, Dear Alex, it was very much my pleasure meeting you this evening. I hope you find a welcoming home here in Haven. I look very much forward to our next meeting. Sincerely, Reginald McAllister III. Alex writes back, thank you, Ducky. That's very sweet.
Nope. Super nope.
The super nope was Alex's positive attitude. Although I have been playing her as every choice that I make is Alex. I'm making in my mind what do I think is appropriate for this character, and so far I've been angling towards outwardly upbeat but internally kind of nervous in a way that she will confess to her brother, for example.
Will we though?
Private property of Typhon Mining. Only authorized Typhon personnel are permitted. Violators will be prosecuted. Okay, they're all down by the gate leading down into the mine.
Cool. A murder barn.
Murder barn is what we call this. So I'm terrible at like reading graffiti. Does that say stray? S-T-R-A-Y? I feel like that's what it says, but it's kind of all clumped together. I appreciate the artwork. I just can't necessarily read it.
They were gonna set off charges tonight. Thank God Gabe got a hold of them.
A zombie. Why?
How is the rubber zombie the least creepy thing out here?
Why is it present? Oh, hold on. HS Senior Halloween Party. What does it say? 2K18. Wow, this has been out here for a while. That the hat and glasses have really held up. Because this is April 2019.
The real monster here is underage drinking. Hey, bro. Wanna get wasted at the old mine? You don't realize until you're up close, but mining equipment is super murdery.
Until you get up close or until you've seen My Bloody Valentine. Julie McNamara is a fucking skank. Well, I should definitely trust the graffiti on that.
Maybe Julie McNamara doesn't need your approval.
Angst. Okay, got it.
My joyride in this will have to wait until after we found Ethan.
Ethan. What did I say before? Was I close to Ethan? When I start playing a game like this, I like it when the character, like Alex, is new in the environment, so, like, she's being introduced as well. But she will never forget anybody's name, and I will forget all of them. Okay, we found an aura point.
It's pretty beaten up. Wonder what happened to it.
I got you. I got you. It's okay. You're okay. Oh, God. Oh, God, we're alive. Is that everybody? I need a head count.
Wow. Once Ethan's safe, I'll raise one too.
We raise our drinks to Jed Lucan, who at this location on December 30th, 2008, pulled us out of hell. Wow. What a happy new year.
Come on, Ryan. Everyone is depending on you.
Ryan won't let his fear get in the way. I'm glad he's here.
Alex warned me. I could have stopped this. I'm such a fucking fuck up.
Gabe cares about Ethan so much. We have to find him. Imagine being trapped down there. Or actually, don't. Probably not as fun to ride in as they look.
If we get more time, I have like a mine story, like a cave story. It's not a real story, it's just like a story that I remember from like growing up. Can I interact with these guys? No, they're just, I can only scan their auras.
What happened here?
Massive cave-in. Bunch of trapped miners. All nearly died. Jed led the whole team back to the surface.
God.
Yeah, that's the day Foreman Jed became local hero Jed. And then Typhon closed up this site, basically bought Jed the Black Lantern.
Huh. same logo. Did Ethan base his comic on this place?
The tunnel to Monster Stronghold collapsed. Can we go...
Okay. If the wall is an illusion...
Yep, so blood was traveling underneath the wall. The trail seems to end here. It was hollow, and he learned that he could pull it back to reveal a hidden door. And then he can climb the stairs onto the Cloud Serpent and found a back gate. Okay.
Nothing obvious. Maybe we should...
Notice anything?
No shit.
I'll be damned.
The whole story is about Ethan's character breaking into a monster stronghold deep underground.
Sounds like the mind of me. Does it show where he went?
Not sure. The comic ends with the monster hunter climbing a watchtower, which shows him where to go. There. The silo. I bet that's the tower. That's where he went.
You're a genius.
Yeah. Great find, Alex. Gabe, you want to take a crack at unlocking that gate?
I'm on it.
We should also be able to get to it through the processing building. If we can find a way in.
Let's take a look then.
Yeah, the main question is, how did Ethan get in?
Ethan based his comic on this place. Maybe I should compare his drawings with other stuff in the area.
Right, like this thing here, this open gate. Doesn't it seem like if you look behind this there... Yeah, look, there's a way right there.
Wait, so did Ethan? Oh man.
Yeah. And he found, and there'll be like some stairs or something back there.
Think there's like a side door back there?
I don't know. You can guess there might be.
Give me a hand.
Okay. You figured that out from a comic book.
He's a good artist.
I'm gonna try to get the lights on. You try to figure out where Ethan went.
Ethan must have come through here. How did he get out?
Well, he went up a big set of stairs. We've seen that.
Have I got some good news for you? I'm 100% sure that if I picked up the receiver, there'd be like a demon voice on the other end.
Anne, you okay?
I'm sorry to call you at work. I just came home from the doctor. I couldn't wait for you to come home.
Baby doll?
I'm pregnant, Jed.
I don't have much to add. It seems a little specific.
What?
It's a long shot, but there's a couple disconnected wires in the box. A red one and a blue one.
Go with red. It's always red.
Okay. Well. Nope. Nothing.
Sir, I'm standing right
Dang.
here. You didn't press anything.
Back to the drawing board. Brian seems like he knows what he's doing. Glad he's here.
I hope Alex is right about this comic thing. We're burning minutes here.
I hope so too.
careful walking around and...
So much stuff just left behind. This thing has seen better days.
That was worth a shot, I guess.
Ethan must have passed through some other way. Let me see what I can figure out.
I
In
think I
plain,
just saw a rat. I hope it was a rat.
it's definitely up that way.
Me too.
This big like ore conveyor is definitely where he went. And in a real situation, you would want to like be super on point to
Any
go
luck?
as quickly as possible.
Nothing yet. Let's keep poking around.
Ugh. Let's hope omens aren't really a thing.
But in the video game, you want to like look around at everything.
Kinda want to push all the buttons. Also, kinda scared to push any of the buttons.
No, I don't feel like this place has any power. So the stairs are blocked off, but the ore conveyor is not. Assuming that you could get up there.
Oh yeah. These look safe.
Yep, big staircase.
Ethan must have gone upstairs. Pretty sure Ethan climbed these stairs. Not sure. I'm gonna have a look.
Oh, hold on. I want to look at debris.
Hi, scary old building. Please don't collapse while we're inside you. Thanks.
Now, the debris doesn't look like anything I remember from the comic, but
Wasn't in the comic.
Right.
Maybe it's full of Twinkies. Those never go bad, right?
Also, I can't remember if I said it aloud. Oh, that's very loud. So forgive me if this is repeating myself from a moment ago, but Alex's like emotion read power are not backing me up about my sort of casual suspicions about Ryan, because he seems legitimately, and in two separate readings, concerned about this whole situation.
Okay, I'll stay out. But not because you told me to.
I don't feel like this book is that this is in the comic.
Wasn't in the comic. We passed caution like an hour ago.
I guess so. If Ethan is this way somehow, how would he have pulled the big heavy gate that took both Alex and Ryan working together to move? Like Ryan might have been able to do it on himself on his own. Maybe Alex could, but it seems like a big ass heavy door.
The silo. We're getting close.
Also, I shouldn't poo-poo like any idea about Alex's strength, because she beat the shit out of Mac. Man, that was a feel-good moment.
Reminds me of the snake thing in Ethan's comic.
Mm-hmm. It just looked to me like both of them were working pretty good on moving that door. Ethan is a much younger kid. Yeah, look at that. Bottom left panel rather. He's leaping for it, and then he gets out there and makes it to the watchtower. And the rest of the ore conveyor looks like it leads down from there, beyond the peak. It must be the stronghold's back gate.
Ethan made the jump from here to the conveyor belt? Oof. Think I'll find another way through. Looks like Ethan climbed the conveyor belt out to the silo.
Yikes.
Worth a shot. Heads up!
You figured out the door.
Yeah. Turns out you gotta open it. Who knew?
Will wonders never cease?
Okay, hold on. Before I just want to make sure that I've seen everything up here. We already looked over there. We saw the conveyor belt. This way over here.
Not in the comic.
Right. Okay.
So this place was a death trap when it was operational too. Cool. Cool, cool, cool.
Wait, where was the way down? Here. And like, Ethan went up the stairs, but then he pulled the sheet metal over the entrance. Like, I guess when I was a kid, I might have done something like that. Ooh, cover my tracks, make sure the bad guys don't know where I am. Like, I can envision doing that. I'm just taking note that he would have gone to some extra effort to go this way and then make it appear that he hadn't.
Ugh. Worse than sleeping on the ground.
Not in the comic.
Nope. Thanor doesn't battle any bed bugs.
Or mold. Having been out here for a year or two. Oh boy, such a romantic makeout spot for the local high schoolers.
Brian seems like he knows what he's doing. Glad he's...
What took you
Mildew
so long?
infested.
You never forget how to break a lock. It's like riding a bike.
Where to next, Alex?
Yeah, up there.
Thanor looks out from the watchtower and spots the secret entrance to the stronghold. If we can just... There. That's where he's heading.
That's by the ravine.
Shit. Let's go.
I can't swear to it, but I'd swear that I can't swear to it, but it looks to me like Gabe's bruise on his face has actually progressed since he got hit. And that's such a cool detail, if so.
We close?
Think so.
Ethan! Ethan! Ethan!
Ethan! Alex! I'm scared!
Ethan, I'm coming for you, buddy.
Wait. Hold on. Here. Ethan? You okay? Don't worry, we're gonna get you out of here. Just hang on.
Don't! His fear is so strong. If I get near it...
It's no good. We're too heavy.
Shit.
What about me?
Alex, Are you sure?
Remember how I taught you how to anchor a belay? Awesome. Show me. You okay?
Honestly, no.
That feeling makes sense. Do me a favor, though. See if you can breathe. Great. As long as you keep doing that, everything's gonna be fine. Alex, can you make eye contact with me? I'm gonna tie this rope around your waist. The other end is tied around your brother. He'll use that stump as a fulcrum to feed rope your direction. Follow?
So far.
Awesome. You're doing super good. Remember, slow is steady, steady's fast. Piece of cake.
Piece of cake.
I'm gonna be really disappointed if Ryan turns out to be like some sort of like real shitbag. He seems like a super cool guy, as does Gabe, as does Jed, as does Steph. Okay, now just balance your 6-axis
Hang on,
controller.
Ethan. I'm coming.
You got this, Alex.
Go back! You'll get hurt!
I'm not gonna get hurt, and neither are you.
What if you're wrong?
Doing great, sis. You're real close. Just a little further.
Hey, Ethan? I'm here to help, okay?
No! Get away!
It's too much. I have to get him to chill out.
Ethan, I need you to calm down.
No, that's not gonna do it for you,
Can
though.
you breathe for me?
I should never have come out here! I was so stupid!
Okay, hey, focus. Talk to me. You want to tell me how you got out here?
I was trying to cross to the other side. The log fell.
That's fine. That's okay. Let's talk about what comes next.
He likes Gabe.
Gabe's got us. We're not gonna fall. He's got the other end of the rope.
No, I can't move. If I move,
You're not gonna fall, buddy.
it doesn't matter!
He's not making any sense. I need him to calm down.
We can't stay here, Ethan. We have to.
It'll see me! If I move, it'll see me!
What's gonna see you?
You don't understand.
He's right. I don't. I can't help him if I don't understand what he's afraid of. And the only way to understand is to feel what he's feeling. Oh, fuck. I can't believe this is happening.
You might want to, like, sit down. This doesn't feel like a great idea.
I can do this. I can do this. Oh my god. What's happening? It's like I'm seeing the world through his eyes.
I thought I could hurt the monster, but it's hunting me.
not just feeling what Ethan feels. I'm seeing the world like he sees it.
I brought all this stuff. None of it will save me. Ninth Warden wouldn't be afraid, but he's just a story. This is real.
Okay. He's not afraid of the fall. He's afraid of...
Shit. Can't let it see me. Can't let it see me.
It can't be real. Oh, but it looks pretty fucking real. Hey. Hey, I see it too, Ethan. The monster, I see it too. And I'm just as scared as you are. But Ethan, we're safe. You know why? It can't see me. Bangle vanishing, just like Ninth Warden.
I thought that was just a story.
Well, some stories are true. Like monsters. So, you're gonna hold my hand, all right? As long as you're touching me, you're safe. Don't look down, okay? We'll be done before you know it.
They're headed back. Keep tight on the belay, Gabe.
Not over yet. Oh God. Okay. One step at a time.
Instead of saying don't look down,
Alex?
at least to me,
Yeah, buddy?
I'm still really scared.
Yeah. Me too. But we can do this. One step at a time.
Okay.
oh, this is making me incredibly nervous,
Do
you
you
guys.
think the log will break?
I don't know. But if it does, I am gonna hold on to you so tight, okay?
Okay.
It's specifically like, if Alex falls, she hits the cliffside really hard. If Ethan falls, he goes all the way. I don't care what Alex's grip strength is. I don't see how that happens. Oh, God.
Ethan!
They're good, man. Tight grip. We're close now.
Super not good. Ryan, you could stand a little closer to the edge, you know, within, like, grabbing distance, for example.
That's it. Come on. There you go. I got you.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Um, that was a lot. All at once. Um, okay, so we'll start somewhere. Wow, it's very difficult right now to organize everything. So, among other things, I just sort of have a generalized discomfort around heights. It's not like it's a movie phobia where I get up on a ladder and I'm just like completely gripped with fear, but I'm not comfortable around them. It is interesting because I like it's nobody nobody's like I'm going to jump off this roof, but it's just I don't know, I get very uncomfortable around heights, and seeing that just yawning chasm beneath Alex and being on this tree and the tree is like breaking in the middle, that it's just very easy for me to sort of put my headspace in where Alex is and to feel what that would be like. I think I've mentioned at least occasionally on stream that of all the games that I've ever played, the one that really triggered my acrophobia the most was like Super Mario Sunshine, which I know is a really weird pick, but the levels in that game are so vertical and you have to go up so high, and some of the platforming can be so challenging that that one really got in my head. It wasn't enough to ever like not play it, but I realized I was like, man, I'm like really tense playing some of these levels in Super Mario Sunshine. I thought it was a very good game. It was an interesting reaction to have, and I was having one there as well. Especially interestingly, not so much when Alex was going across by herself, but then when Alex was bringing Ethan back, because Alex has the rope tied to her, and in my head, I'm thinking if she falls, she risks getting hit by part of the log, but will absolutely pendulum into that rock face at a very high rate of speed. That would be very bad. She would likely at least have like a broken arm, a broken shoulder, a concussion, broken ribs. It would be a bad scene, man. And as I'm thinking about that as she goes over, when she didn't tie the rope around Ryan, and it's not like I have a strong idea on how she should do that and keep them both like tied to it, but she's just like holding his hand, and if they fall, she physically can't keep her grip on him. She just can't. Like, I don't understand how it's physically possible. And of course, in the real world, there's all sorts of evidence of people doing superhuman things. It would have been a miracle. So as they're going across, I'm worried for Alex, but deeply, deathly concerned for Ryan. Ethan. So that's where that's coming from. And then when they reach there and Alex lies down on the ground, it's got that shot of her upside down, and she's just feeling this relief wash over her as I assume Ethan's fear sort of starts to evaporate and the monster can't see him and he's with other people again and he knows it's going to be okay. Maybe he'll get in trouble, but other than that, it's going to be okay. I was thinking to myself, like it just lingers for a second. Then it shows Gabe, and Gabe is smiling and Alex is smiling, and then to myself, torrential snowstorm? like what's gonna go wrong here? And I actually thought in my head, just random rock slide. It had now exited my head, the idea that there would be that they would go ahead and set off the bombs and blow the top off the mountain and just have this massive rock slide that would come down at them. And when Gabe got hit by a rock and apparently went over the side and Alex started getting dragged, Ryan went down and grabbed the rope to help her stabilize. And then he saw the same thing that I saw and was just quicker on the draw than I was. You heard me go, what? When he pulled out the knife, because I realized he was going to cut the rope. And the what from me was, there has got to be another way. And there wasn't going to be. I'm just saying right now, before we look through stats or anything like that, Ryan made the right call, because otherwise all three of them would be dead. He did what he needed to do, and he was faster on the trigger than I would have been. And that's one of the things that was just a lot. And I was just talking about one of the things that this game has done a masterful job of in these first 4 sections that we've played has been to make me feel very attached to the characters. The one character that I dislike the most is Mac, and you're kind of intended to dislike him. He seems like a manipulative, abusive, violent, unstable, very, very deeply insecure person, and everybody else seems great. Like, everybody else just seems great. And even like Ryan, where like when we met him in the record store, he's like, "Hey, I'm Ryan. I'm the most handsome guy you've ever seen in your life. Why don't I just take some time out of my day to help you get an awesome gift for your brother Gabe?" And I was just like, no way. No way, no way. Something's going on here. Like, this guy has some ancient blood feud with Gabe. You know, I don't know who this guy is. Hey, tell me some sort of an embarrassing story about your brother. But like, he really does seem to be on the up and up. He just seems to be like this super awesome guy. And I was starting to think, like I said, between episodes, what if he's just pretending to be like the world's most awesome guy? And the title, True Colors, is about like Alex can sense emotions, but you know, certain sociopaths and stuff like aren't gonna have emotions the way that maybe they don't feel it. Like, I don't know. I don't want to like go too far down the like armchair psychology, but what if there's people that Alex can't get a good read on, and they're so good at pretending to be awesome people that they actually feel it even while they have a more devious underside? And I was starting to like swing back towards wondering about that. But in this episode, Alex got 2 separate chances to read Ryan, and both times, first he was like, everyone's counting on you, Ryan. And that seemed a little bit ambiguous, but then when we got the beat about I really hope Alex is right about all this comic book stuff, because we're burning minutes here. That was specific. That was, Alex seems to have good ideas on how to proceed. I hope she's right about it. We've got to find this kid. That's how I read it. So yeah, I feel like Ryan is probably on the up and up, and that the rope was cut to save everybody, and that he did the right thing, and that doesn't feel good to say. Another thing that didn't feel good from much earlier in this sequence was when Ethan confided in Alex about the fact that he was going to go to the mine, and I was faced with like saying like, no, it's cool, or promise you'll be careful. And I went with no, it's cool, as I said at the time, because I was thinking to myself, if Alex gets in good with him now, then if he comes up with a more dangerous plan or something, then he will confide in her again. Now, going into the mine by yourself at night with his flashlight that we saw in his little backpack, that already is dangerous enough. But I'm thinking in my head, just telling him to be careful isn't going to stop him from going. So I wasn't feeling that part of it. So I was like, no, it's cool. And then when I saw that the mountaintop blasting was scheduled for tonight, and also Ethan was right in front of Alex changing his plans with Gabe about like, oh, I don't really want to hang out at the shop. I think I'm just going to like crash at home. And Gabe was like, all right. That was when I made the call. Okay, I have to tell Gabe about this, because this is too dangerous. I don't like betraying confidences, but we have a basic moral obligation when we know someone is going to do something incredibly dangerous. And as we saw here, now I guess ironically, if Ethan had been on the other side of the river in that alcove, he probably would have been okay, because across that gulch, none of the stones that were tumbling down, it didn't seem like any of them had the velocity to get over there. So he probably would have been fine, but then he would have been trapped because the log would have broken. So would they have found him in time? I don't know. There's no reason to think that if they didn't know where to look. So I don't know. Maybe in retrospect, telling them wasn't the right thing, because it would have delayed us by a few minutes. But yeah, the mining company set it off anyway. fucking why, man? Like, I guess they delayed it for 2 hours, but you would have thought that since they hadn't heard anything, you can always blow the top off the mine tomorrow. Like, you don't want to pay overtime to the guy holding the plunger. Just anyway. The other big thing that came up during this episode, and this is, I'm not even looking at the percentages just yet, was the scene. So there's 2 parts to it. The scene where Max shows up at Gabe's door and pushes his way in and starts beating up Gabe on the suspicion that Gabe is having an illicit affair with Riley. Was that her name? Is her name Riley? Does it say on this screen? It does not. So I think it's Riley. I'm probably wrong about that. Now, we knew from the previous scene that Gabe was helping out the woman who I'm currently calling Riley with her application to school. There is a moment that Gabe seemed to have kind of a lingering look towards Riley, like really sort of like held his gaze on her for a moment. But that doesn't necessarily mean romantic affection or sexual attraction. He could have just, maybe that's just his way of focusing with people. That could just be, some other interaction they've had. Who knows? So I did not pick up anything romantic between the two of them. Maybe I just wasn't feeling some kind of way about it, mostly because Gabe was there to buy apology flowers for Charlotte. And I didn't detect any part of him like, well, if this doesn't work out, I've got other options. I just didn't see that. He was mostly concerned about, do I go with the sunflowers that I know she'll like, or these flowers that I read about online that are good for apologies? Okay. I'm like one of the stupidest people in the world on stuff like this. And even I'm going to say that, like, the idea that certain flowers are better suited to get you forgiveness feels like it implies that human beings in general, and maybe women in specific, are all like hardwired to respond to like flower stimuli in the same way. And I don't believe that that's true. If it is Charlotte, right? I'm so worried about forgetting. Oh, Riley's name is on the screen. I just saw it. I'm dead serious that I'm not looking at any of these words. If Charlotte's favorite flowers are sunflowers, and you want to make a gesture that show her that you've heard her, you apologize, you feel bad about some way in which you've let her down, which I don't know the specifics, I didn't ask. By the way, I didn't ask about that because Alex has been in town for 5 minutes. And that felt, I know that Gabe is her brother, but they've been apart for a long time. That felt like maybe a little bit too personal to get into, especially since sunflowers were the only viable option. I don't know what he was thinking about looking up apology flowers. I guess if I had no idea at all what flowers to get, then maybe, but no, that she likes sunflowers. So by giving her the sunflowers, you're not only hopefully opening a gesture of, I feel bad about how things went down, but also, I know you, and you know me, and you know that I feel bad about this, and hopefully that's a constructive way to communicate that. I don't know. That's the way that I was thinking about the flower scene. Anyway, going back to Mac pushing his way in, that was so effing satisfying. when like the prompt came up on screen and it's just forward. That was so awesome, by the way. It wasn't like a quick time event with like a lot of button presses like it's a David Cage thing. You just push up, forward, go, advance, and Alex just unleashes like the Incredible Hulk. That was great. And then when Mac comes staggering out and he like points his finger at her like, oh, I'm gonna get you. No, sir, you are not gonna get Alex. Like, that felt great. And yeah, it didn't feel good when Alex turned around and just punched Gabe in the face. But Alex was in the throes of it. Like this was a lioness protecting her cubs. In this case, her cub was her older sibling, but nonetheless, Alex unleashed. And I want to be clear, I understand that what I'm seeing here is that Alex is not only an empath, that she can feel other people's emotions, but it's like she's an amplifier, and they sort of focus through her and get re-energized and heightened on the way out. So she was, if anything, angrier than Gabe was, and this manifests, why did I say Gabe, than Mac was. So I understand all of that. The lioness, protecting her cubs, what I mean is that she's not in control of where that rage is directed right now. It is, at this exact moment, laser focused on the soon-to-be corpse right in front of her. But if you get in her way, yeah, she's going to be violent back towards that. And that did sort of shake her out of it. But I didn't feel, honestly, that Gabe at any point held a lot of, like was nursing a grudge towards Alex. I was surprised when he was like, I got to go downstairs to report to my shift. It's like, sir, you just got kicked a couple times with, like, just in my head, I always assume steel-toed boots. You're just going to get up and go to work? And then, of course, Jed took one look at him and was like, no, go to the first aid kit. And then Alex goes downstairs and, while auditioning for the job, runs into Mac, and he comes up and has the temerity to say to her, oh, we don't have to do a play-by-play. I need you to help me cover with my girlfriend. The girlfriend that I was accusing your brother of having slept with, the girlfriend that I don't trust, the girlfriend that I'm worried about losing to your brother because he's just a better human being than I am. And even though I just assaulted him in his own home, now I want you, his sister, to cover for me. Hopefully it came across on screen how quickly I turned that down. Like, that, as soon as there's that reflex of just double checking that I'm hitting the right thing, and no, call him out on his bullshit. Because this isn't some schadenfreude moment about bringing him low. I'm not sitting back and feeling good about the fact that he's kind of a dirtbag and loses his girlfriend over this. What I am is protecting his girlfriend and protecting Alex and protecting Gabe. Why would any of us lie on that guy's behalf? He is unstable. He is untrustworthy. And if he's violent to other people in defense of his girlfriend, how long is it going to be before he's violent towards his girlfriend? If I can't beat up every man on the planet, maybe I can scare Riley into not even looking at them. Nope. No way. So we're going to put an end to that. The fact that he lost his relationship with Riley, we got that update that the relationship status has been updated. That's not on Alex, and that's not on Riley. That's on Mac. Mac did that to himself, and Mac deserves what he gets. He may continue to be a menace, but now everybody knows what kind of a menace he is, because Steph and Jed and Elliot, or whoever it was who was also commenting on there, they all know what went down. They all know. Word is going to get around, and now everyone's on notice. If anything were to happen to, I was about to say Gabe, but I've got bad news on that front. If anything were to happen to Riley or Alex or anybody else, we've already got a suspect number one. That's the way that you got to handle people like Mac. You don't do this broken. Okay, so I don't want to say anything that might be misinterpreted as victim blaming. I'm just saying that this is the thought process that was going through my head when I said call him out on his bullshit. Now that everybody knows, and someone like Mac has nowhere to hide, he should leave town because he's not going to find any supporters around here. I feel bad about not talking to Jason Pike, the police officer. I thought that I liked Ducky more than I expected to, and I actually thought that was it Claire? Diane. It was Diane, because I remember thinking in my head about Ducky and Diane. Diane sitting there, I actually liked Diane. I was glad that she wasn't like, I don't know, some Paul not Paul Reichert. What's the dude's name? Reiser. There we go. Paul Reiser from Alien style corporate sleazebag. She seemed kind and approachable, and to be enjoying a meal with, or getting ready to enjoy a meal with Ducky. Like, she didn't seem like just a weird archetype, what phrase would you say? A caricature of like a corporate mouthpiece. So that was cool. And then they agreed to delay the blasting, but apparently not long enough because they're just assholes about it. And then everything that happened at the mine. I think that covers the broad strokes. We're going to look through the percentages to see if I have anything else that I want to add. But yeah, there we go. Part 1, Section 1, whatever we want to call it. Let's take a look through. Almost a perfectly even split. Can I, no, I can't up and down on this at all. So, Alex told Gabe about Ethan's plans. Almost a perfectly even split. And I get why. On a slightly different day, 15 minutes later this day, I might have made a different choice. But I already explained what I did and why. 66%, Alex told Riley the truth about the fight. I don't understand the thought process behind the other third. I said, I sort of talked that through. Also, just look at the little picture there. How satisfying was it that he is just one big bruise? God damn it, that felt good. Wow. One of the reasons that I feel like that felt really good is that I know that Alex lost control, and I know that this has been a problem for her elsewhere in her life, and we pulled a lot of information in these last few episodes about what Alex's life has been like leading up to this. But Alex, it feels like... I was about to say that it feels like she has the capacity to, like, take control of her own destiny, but that's the problem. She doesn't. She can't control it. So I don't want to say that. But one of the things that is striking me about True Colors so far is that Life is Strange 2 was a story about powerlessness. That is the running theme that comes up over and over and over again. Being powerless in the face of people and systems and ideologies that exist to hold you down, to step on your neck. And that's what the story was about. And in the balance, Life is Strange 2 was, at least for me, not in any way a feel-good story. There were very few triumphs along the way where you sort of felt like everything was going to be okay. And I learned to take any small victories, any moments of solace, respite, succor, relief, wherever I could find them in that game. And it was very good about that. I feel like my overall feelings on Life is Strange 2 are complicated, but on the whole, very positive. It's a lesson in empathy, that game, and I really like what it attempted to do and feel like it succeeded more often than it failed. That said, then we come into this game where you see somebody getting brutalized, somebody that you care about, that has shown you kindness and that your character has a history with, and instead of standing back and not being able to do anything about it, Alex does, and it feels great. It feels so good. I don't revel in violence for violence sake, but if ever there was a time to unleash the inner beast, that was it. So, yeah. And then I said what I said about telling Riley the truth about the fight. 31%. Alex told Gabe about growing up in foster care, and 69%, wow, told Gabe about her power. I referenced this very briefly when it was happening, and I'm glad that we get a chance to circle back to it now, because my thought process, as you've heard in some of these other decisions, is that Alex, this is her first day. Like, if I read the text messages successfully, she arrived in town at like 4 or 5 p.m. This is all in the span of like one afternoon and evening. She hasn't spent the night there. She's been estranged from her brother for, in my view, an unspecified length of time, but a period of not less than a few years. And now she's going to introduce herself to her brother by saying, I can see auras, I can feel emotions, they have a tactile weight to them, and they reverberate in me and come back out more powerful. It's her first day. If anyone is going to believe her, it would be Gabe. But if nobody believes her, it starts with Gabe. And it just felt like a lot to dump out on him all at the same time. This is a burden that Alex has been carrying with her for a long time. It seems very likely that she has never confided with other people, and if she has, she hasn't been believed. All of those things would lead me to believe that she would be more inclined to keep it close to herself until maybe she had gotten a little more settled in and had established some sense of current familial trust with Gabe, and then she could go into it. So instead, talking truthfully about growing up in foster care felt like the smarter thing. It wasn't an attempt to keep it from Gabe, but it didn't feel like Alex was ready based on the history that she's had. That's the reason that I read all of those text messages. I go through the journal and stuff. That's where all of that comes from. So it's getting that understanding of the character and where she's been. So that's the thought process there. Okay, wow, lots of stuff. 95% Alex hugged Gabe on the bridge. 5% shook his hand. Like, no shade, but yeah, 5% are... Like, I also have a very negative... I did not like it when Eleanor hugged Alex just out of the blue, this woman that you've never met before. I was not a fan of that. I don't like it even in video games when people are encroaching on, quotation marks here, my personal space. But that's not what's happening here. Alex and Gabe, they're siblings. They've reconnected. I hadn't yet seen the text messages, but he was so excited to bring her there and for them to reconnect as adults. And I don't know, it was just the most natural thing in the world to do the hug. Going to the right now, Ryan told... Hold on, which one should I go? No, okay, let's go down. Let's go down, because down is chronological order. Alex advised Riley to show off in her interview. Really? Only a third of people did that. Alex encouraged Riley to be honest in her interview. Here's the thing. Here's my thought on that. Gabe had said they're going to smell that bullshit a mile away. Yes. Yes, they will. And if you are honest in the interview, they're also trained to believe that that is bullshit. This is the way that I think about it. In your interview, in your resume, in your cover letter, you want to present the absolute best possible version of yourself that you can. No, you should not put in, my problem is that I rescue too many puppies or something like that. But you also don't want to say, well, my biggest flaw is that I've been fired from 3 jobs for just getting bored and deciding that I wasn't going to show off for work. And then the one time for theft. No, like, you want to show the best absolute version of yourself. And if the thing that sort of like leaned me even further in that direction was Alex's like internal, like the choice presented was be clever. You can be honest or be clever. And 99% of the time, if you have the opportunity to be clever, that's probably the way to go. Not like in a snarky, smarmy, I'm smarter than everyone in the room way, but find a way to dress up your greatest weaknesses in the best possible light rather than just confessing them outright. Because on an application like this, they're going to see a raw, open statement of vulnerability and they're going to say, wow, if they're willing to confess that, what are they hiding? Rejected. That's just my thought process on it. 82% Alex put the cool sunglasses on the gnome. You're damn right I did. I do not know why that gnome reminds me of Brody from Life is Strange 2. I don't know. I don't like, as soon as I see him, my brain goes to Brody and I'm like, oh no, that's a gnome. But yeah, sunglasses for all. Alex enjoyed a song in the record store. Only 57%. I would have liked to enjoy more of the song, but you know, muting. What can you do? 56% told Alex that Ryan was a badass. Correct. Yeah, I didn't trust Ryan at the time. I've gone back and forth on trusting Ryan since then. To be the newcomer in town and to wink, wink, nudge, nudge, be spreading embarrassing stories about your sibling, save it. You know, those embarrassing stories can come up when Gabe and Charlotte are announcing their engagement. Plenty of time for well, sorry, I keep talking about this like we're going to have a bright and fruitful future with Gabe, and I guess there's not going to be. those future times. Because I'm just sharing now, that was a kill shot. I usually say in games like this, we don't believe that somebody is gone until you see the body, but that was a very deep gulch. Gabe got hit by the rock. He was thrown over the side. He would have fallen and swung on the rope into the stone wall, I believe. That's after getting hit by a rock that was the size of him. And then the rope was cut and he fell, and then all the other rocks came down. Nothing is impossible in the wonderful world of fantastical fiction. I do not believe Gabe is with us any longer. So I just want to make that clear. I like sharing predictions and why I have them, because that way I don't get to claim later I knew it all along. But moving on. Alex rocked out with Gabe on the broom guitar. Alex looked on as Gabe jammed on the broom guitar. Wow, I feel seriously bad for 6%. More than any other thing here, I feel very bad for 6% of you. Wow. Okay. Moving on. 93%. Alex found evidence of Gabe's search for her. What that means to me is that 7% didn't look, which is fine. Not everybody wants to examine everything in the environment, but yeah, that's now we have percentage points on who goes around and looks at things, because it was hardly hidden. And I was greatly heartened by the amount of effort that Gabe had put in. Multiple different vectors he chased down to try to find his long-lost sister. That's awesome. Now we have our first three-way split. Alex expressed optimism about Haven to Charlotte, which was not quite the favorite, but they were very close percentages. Alex expressed pessimism about Haven to Charlotte, and then 38% Alex wasn't sure how she felt about Haven. I can understand the 38% who were maybe not sure, because that's a fair, let's wait, let's bide our time, let's find it out. But boy, Haven is it's a lovely place. If Haven is based on a real place somewhere on planet Earth, I would like to go there. And I don't want to leave there. It seems absolutely phenomenal as a town, as a community, as a setting. I assume the internet probably sucks, so that would probably cut our streaming careers short, but man, it seems like a nice place. So yeah, optimism about Haven, it seems great. 49% Alex went along with Gabe's story. Yes, about being a server. Be clever, because what did she say? Well, I probably haven't been a server that long. That's what she says. Look, man, she landed herself a job. I have no regrets. And she was a natural, right? We remembered the order. We got it to the people. I think they got their food okay. I assume it did. 96% told Gabe she loves the guitar. Why did 4% say that her playing is rusty? They must have seen her play the guitar. That was great. She was great. She was great. My playing is rusty. Why wouldn't you say that you love the guitar? What a curious choice. Okay. 87% Jed was impressed with Alex's performance as a server. 2% Jed was not impressed. And 11% Alex figured out that Alex has never been a server before. What is the difference between those, do you think? This is very much a rhetorical question, but what would leave you to the 11% as opposed to just the 2%? Anyway, pleased to be in the 87% of people who were a server. Guess what's one of the vocations I've had in the past? 36% Steph lost to Alex in the jukebox game. 39% Steph beat Alex. And then 25% Alex didn't play the jukebox game with Steph. Wow. Because that was fun. It was like a fun logic puzzle. And anytime I stream anything at all, I'm thinking to myself, is this taking too long? Is this interrupting the pacing? If it did for you, I apologize. But not too abjectly, because it's part of the game. And one of the things that I love doing is engaging with the game and seeing it through. People sat down and they designed those album covers and those band names and those song names, and they invented this game and they gave you the options and they thought it through. And this thing that'll probably, my gamble is, never come up in the whole rest of True Colors was something that human beings sat down and they worked on to make it solvable and interesting and logical, that this could be unraveled if you wanted to take the time. And I wanted to see if we could do it, and we did. So, yeah, of course I played the game. I feel bad for the 25%. If you swung on and missed, that's fine. But to not even take up the bat, that's disappointing. 67%. Riley broke up with Mac after the fight, and at 33%, Riley and Mac are still together. I assume that comports exactly with whether or not you told her, but I just want to check what the percentage was on that. Yeah, almost exactly 66 to 34, and then 67 to 33. So I'm pretty confident that that's how that breaks down. But then again, why would it be charted differently? There must be some minor percentage points. Maybe if you take other actions around or near her, she decides to stay with Mac. It's like a weird edge case, because otherwise, why would you ever list it out as a separate thing? And then finally, 89% Ducky was reunited with his favorite whiskey, and 11% it's still lost. Oh no. Poor Ducky, truly the world's greatest loser in this first section. Ducky, who had to say goodbye to his favorite whiskey, never found it. And then we're back to the beginning. So the next chapter would be the next chapter. And instead, yeah, so that's what that is. I'm going to select main menu, and that is going to do it for part 1. I'm really not sure what to call this, because between episodes, because I was really unclear about it, I did have my producer look up, and this game is not episodic, at which point I came to believe that this was just going to be a straight playthrough without any episodic breaks, and lo and behold, we found one. So I guess we will call this episode 1 or part 1. And what we'll do is reunite with you guys in 1 week's time. I will play the next section of this in 1 week's time. We will be recording it through, and then when we put up the entire chapter or episode or part or whatever we want to say, all 4 of these parts will be up together. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this first section of Life is Strange True Colors. In the intro, one of the things that I did not talk about is that this is being pre-recorded in the event that I am unable to stream for some sort of an extended period of time, or maybe to release as a special bonus at some point. Narrative games like this are exceedingly difficult to play live online. You cannot engage with chat in the way that you normally would, because that greatly interferes with the pacing of the experience, and trying to talk or interact with people while the dialogue is going on, it feels like it winds up being very distracted all over. Hopefully by pre-recording these, when we're putting them up, you'll be able to put on these episodes at your own leisure, enjoy the story with us, and then we can reconnect on the other side and chat in any number of other streams that we do, or on Discord or someplace else. So thank you for joining me for this adventure through the latest and most recent episode of Life is Strange, and we will see you again in 1 week's time. Although I will note that the VOD would probably be up much sooner than in 1 week's time, but I'll be playing it in 1 week. Until then, you guys, thank you very, very much, and I'll see you again then.